Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to go over the amazing Ghostface shrine that we see in the Scream 6 trailer. We're going to look at the Easter eggs and all the goodies that the mastermind behind all of the events of this film has collected. Or perhaps it finally is the cult of Ghostface that we've been waiting for since it was intended to be done way back in Scream 3. Now, if it is a cult, then perhaps the members have worked together to acquire these stab movie props and replicas. However it turns out, we've got some amazing items to review, and the time to do that is now. Let's go! So before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Jeremy here over on Twitter at YMereJShay. His handle here you'll see on the screen, for putting together this amazing image that I'm going to use as the basis for discussion. So let's get into it. Here we go, guys. Here is the shrine scene, and I know that it is a lot to absorb here at this view right here. So what I've decided to do is break it down into left and right. So we're going to go ahead and start now and get into it a little bit closer by looking over at the left-hand side of this image. So blowing up just the left side, it's much easier to take in what we have, but I also realize some of your screens are small. You're watching on your phone. So I will go ahead and read through these as quickly as possible so that you'll understand exactly what we're looking at here if you're not able to read the details. So if we start on the far left at the top, we do have the mask there from Troy, and is the Windsor College Theater Department mask that we saw on stage whenever Sydney was dancing there doing her role in the rehearsal. And below that we have also the actual apparatus that Derek was hung on, the stage. They actually have a replica of that here. And it was the Windsor College Theater prop stage prop where he came down on, had his arms were tied up. That is actually there on the left-hand side. You see there with the mask. Now, going down a little bit lower, we also see that we have Olivia Morris's crime scene sketches from Scream 4 on the far left. And just below that on the far left, we have actual crime scene evidence of a Woodsboro police uniform. And then right to the right of that, we have Olivia Morris's sweater is also present there in the shrine. And you notice on Olivia Morris's sweater that she was wearing, the entire section in her stomach area is completely ripped open, where of course, as we know, she literally was ripped open. So the shirt matches it there, and that's one of the police officers there on the left-hand side, either Perkins or it could be Deputy Haas, who was played by, of course, Adam Brody. One of those two there was likely is where that shirt is from, next to Olivia. Now, also, beside those, you see we've got some Kirby Reed crime scene sketches. We've got Kirby there. We see Ghostface drawn on the image as well. And above that to the right, this is actually Jill Roberts' shirt, the actual shirt she had on in the third act of the film when it was all going down, when she stabbed Charlie, one where she stabbed herself and did all that stuff. This was the actual replica of that shirt right here on this mannequin. So now moving over a little bit more to the right, but still on the left side of the screen, we'll start at the top. And of course, as you guys I'm sure noticed right away, we've got Stu Macher's red robe from Scream 1. And also to the right of that, in front of him, is a television, a CRT television, much like, replica of what Sydney threw down on top of him. And So those items are there for Stu, or again, replicas, because as I mentioned in the intro, I really believe for you to realistically have all of these items, these have to be stab props from the movies and replicas that they've made to look like the originals. There's the only way you can explain any of this. Even if a cop, I know there's auctions and there's different things you can do, but for one person to have all of these items and that all these items would even be auctioned is just a real stretch. So for me to buy this, I have to believe these are props from the first 3 Stab movies, and the other ones are replicas, and or I guess, the first 4, in that case, like Scream 4, there's the replicas. That's what I think it has to be. And that I can buy. I can totally believe that. But back to it, though, guys. Let's keep going. So we got the TV in Stu Macher's robe. Then directly below, or right by the TV and next to him, is Billy Loomis's white T-shirt. That is supposed to represent what Billy wore that night in his shirt. And if you continue coming down the row here towards us, you see we've got Nancy Loomis's jacket from Scream 2 with Debbie Salt, as she would wear that white jacket in the finale. There it is on the mannequin, which is very cool. And then if you continue to go all the way down there, we've got evidence from the crime scene, is calling it, and it's the fax machine from Scream 3. It's kind of charred on the half side of it. On the right, I think it's like the right side. It looks like it's charred up pretty good. Of course, guys, remember, the actual fax machine would have never survived that explosion. It would have been completely destroyed and melted. So the fact that they even have this fax machine, or in this collection that's half charred, it's almost like a replica. We're paying tribute to what happened because we don't have the real thing. So we're creating one. We're getting a fax machine. We're scorching it up on half of it. That to me makes a lot of sense. I think that's what we're looking at here, because there's no way it can be the real thing. It wouldn't have survived the explosion. And then we also, right beside it, have the frying pan that was used by Ghostface to hit Patrick Warburton, or Stone was the character name, who was a bodyguard, of course, of Jennifer Jolie, which was Parker Posey's character. So there's the frying pan right next to the fax machine. And keeping it going, we have right there on the left, we have the Stab 3 film slate that would have been used as they were filming the movie. And then we have a script below that. And finally, below that, we have film real footage from all the events of Stab 3. So lots of Stab 3 collectibles here for sure. Now that covers pretty much, guys, the left side here. And again, there could be some other things that are here that have not been identified yet. And I will notice one thing here I want to mention too on the picture. If you look underneath Debbie or Nancy Loomis's jacket, there is the pistol, a replica of the pistol that Nancy Loomis had also. So there you go. Yeah, there's one that I almost skipped over, and it was already pointed out. So there's a lot here. So there's the pistol for Nancy Loomis, and that covers the left-hand side of all of the shrine collectibles before the stage. Okay, now let's keep it going. Over on the right-hand side, we're going to start at the top and work our way down, and we'll continue going that. We have those 2 mannequins there on the right-hand side before you get to the stage. We've got Kenny Jones, the cameraman for Gale, there with the baseball hat, the green baseball hat, representing Kenny. And to the left of Kenny is the mannequin that has the navy blue jacket that's worn by Skeet Ulrich, or I should say, is worn by Billy, either way, in the movie, with the white T-shirt. So we've got that there on that mannequin, on those 2. And as we continue to move down, we've got this image of Mickey Altieri. We've got his camcorder in the case. That is the actual replica of the video camera he would have used in Scream 2 as he was lurking around campus, filming everything. And there it is in the case. And if we look at the bottom left now, we see that this is the crime scene evidence of the Kevlar vest, the LAPD writing on it from Scream 3 that Sydney had whenever she showed that she also had a bulletproof vest. And that looks to be the one from Sidney Prescott was wearing in the movie. So either way, no matter whether it was her or if it was Roman or someone else, this definitely is that LAPD exact replica of the bulletproof vest. And I think it was pretty sure it was Sydney that had that one on. Now, if you look to the right of that, we have, of course, Stephen Orth represented here, the very first victim of Ghostface outside of Maureen Prescott. And here is this simulation sitting in a chair, duct tape around his arms or his wrists and his mouth, covered in duct tape. And of course, you can't miss the jacket. It's the Woodsboro High jacket. That's Stephen Orth there. All right. And then right below that, there is a hunting knife. It looks to be a hunting knife there, but there's nothing else that we can make out in that case to identify anything more right there. So just something to note there. It looks like the back end of the handle of a like a Buck 120 hunting knife. And then in the case there, near the hunting knife, towards the bottom there, those are some crime scene sketches of Casey Becker that you can see drawn there clearly as Casey Becker. And as we move up, we're going to go straight up now in a row. Next up, we've got some Dewey Riley crime scene sketches over here on the right-hand side. And if you look to the left, we have some Gail Weathers sketches also, and her published books. And then look here at this mannequin. You guys recognize that. I know you do. That is, of course, Tatum's skirt and top from the garage scene in Scream 1. So absolutely love that they remembered this and brought it in, and it's there it is. It's so cool. So whether it's a prop from the movie or a replica, they did a great job. And then at the very top, this is something that is easy to miss. That is a replica of the garage door on the top there. And you can tell because it looks different than any other of the hangings in the balconies. And if you look at that, you've got it mirroring the paneling of the garage door that Tatum is hanging from, including the doggy door or the pet door right there in the middle where she attempted to escape. So that is there. All right, let's keep moving now. In the middle, I'm going to move over to the right-hand side now at the top. This is Casey Becker's. This is the swing that was swinging at Casey Becker's house, where it was initially, when the scene just begins, it's swinging in the air. And then, of course, we know at the end, it's where she was hanging from. But there is the swing, or replica of the swing hanging here. Now, if we continue to go down, we've got the Woodsboro High School flag. And this was the flag that was in Scream 5. This is the Scream 5 flag. And to the left of the flag, in that case there, is crime scene sketches of Cotton Weary. You can definitely tell that is Cotton Weary for sure. And now, continuing on over, look on the bottom, we've got Phil Stevens and Maureen Evans, of course. We have the promotional merchandise, and you see the Stab costume in a little plastic bag that they were given at the opening, and there's the mask and the knife. It's all there. So it's got all the premier promotional merchandise from Stab is there, which is really cool. All right, next up we've got crime scene sketches of Jennifer Jolie, speaking of her a minute ago. They're sketched out for Scream 3. And as we move up to the very top, we've got some crime scene sketches of Angelina Tyler. And then there's one there that I'm just trying to make it out. We don't really know for sure who that is yet. But one of the characters for sure is a crime scene sketch. So guys, this was a ton of stuff, and I just really think it's incredible that whether these things are replicas, props from the movie, stab movies, whatever, I think it's just amazing that they've got these in the movie. This whole shrine is amazing. I mean, this is my favorite scene of the trailer, when it pulls back and you see it lifting up, and there's all the ghost faces on stage. Billy's is enclosed in glass, and it's just fantastic. So anyway, this was really fun to make, and I appreciate this amazing resource from Jeremy that helped make this video a lot easier to do as I was starting to pull all this stuff together and make my list, and realizing that, we don't have to reinvent the wheel and it's already been done. So I just want to make sure and give my shout out to Jeremy over on Twitter. Thank you again, man, for this amazing tool and great work. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. But now I need to know, though, what do you guys think about, this video content? What do you think about this shrine content? I need to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about any of the items that we've seen? Did you spot anything else that I didn't cover? Please let me know what your thoughts are, ideas, any of those things in the comments section below so we can begin discussing it together. Well, that's going to be all, guys, for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream 6 and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.